Hello everyone. Let's start with the organs of immune system. Before starting, I hope you all have the basics of cells of the immune system. So let's begin. Organs involved in the development of immune responses are called lymphoid organs. Immune responses in the sense defense system of our body. Lymphocyte maturation, proliferation and differentiation occurs in the lymphoid organs. Functionally, they are categorized as primary and secondary lymphoid organs. These primary lymphoid organs are also called as central lymphoid organs. Secondary lymphoid organs are also called as peripheral lymphoid organs. So, what are the primary lymphoid organs? Primary lymphoid organs are thymus and bone marrow. Secondary lymphoid organs are lymph nodes, spleen, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, cutaneous associated lymphoid tissue. Now, what are the functions of primary and secondary lymphoid organs? Maturation of lymphocytes occurs in the primary lymphoid organs. Maturation in the sense they are formed from the progenitor cells. Progenitor cells differentiate into mature cells, the grown-up cells. Now, these grown-up cells are formed in the primary lymphoid organs and they attain their function in the secondary lymphoid organs. That is, these secondary lymphoid organs are sites for the mature lymphocyte to interact with the antigen which one enters the body. Now, cells become immunocompetent in these lymphoid organs. Immunocompetence is nothing but the ability to produce immune response on exposure to a foreign particle, that is the antigen. Now, all these organs are kept connected to each other with the help of blood vessels and the lymphatic system so that they function as a unit. What is lymphatic system? Alternate system to the flow of the blood is the lymphatic system. Now let us move on to primary lymphoid organ. First primary lymphoid organ we are going to discuss is thymus. Location of the thymus is the structure of the thymus is flat and it is a bilobed organ. Location, it is situated just above the heart. Size, it is large at birth and shrinks as the person ages. That is the reason why immunity is deficient in case of old people as the thymus shrinks. Structure, it is surrounded by a capsule. Each lobe, it has many lobes in it. Each lobe further has lobules which are separated by trabeculae. What are trabeculae? Trabeculae are nothing but connective tissue strands. Now, T cells, they take their origin in the bone marrow, whereas development and maturation occurs in the thymus. So, the cells become immunocompetent. T cells become immunocompetent in the thymus. As they attain their maturation in the thymus, they are called as T cells. Now, structure of the thymus, it consists of inner part which is medulla and outer part which is cortex. They are composed of epithelial cells, dendritic cells, macrophages and supporting cells. Now, what is the function of this thymus? Function of the thymus is it helps in development and maturation of T cells. Along with development and maturation, selection of T cells. Now, what do you mean by selection of T cells? Selection of T cells is nothing but the thymus induces death of those T cells that cannot recognize antigen MHC complex or those that react with the self antigen MHC complex. If they react with the self antigen of the body, again it leads to a danger of causing autoimmune diseases. That means those T cells which are non-functional get deleted, or you can say they get phagocytized. So it is said that more than 95% of the T cells or the thymocytes which are formed die by a process of apoptosis, programmed cell death, without reaching the maturity. Only 5% of the T cells which are formed are actually providing the immune response. Now, we said autoimmune disease. The one example of autoimmune disease is myasthenia gravis, where the body makes antibodies against acetylcholine receptors at postsynaptic neuromuscular junction. That is, we know that at the neuromuscular junction signal is passed from one neuron to another neuron. So here if the signal is not passed, the muscle contraction is halted or it weakens the muscle contraction. So in this particular disease, myasthenia gravis, the movement of the body or the limbs or the head region, it is very slow, gravis, like a dead body. So lack of thymus leads to increased infections. We already know that thymus helps in the formation of T cells, which are important in immune responses. So if the thymus itself is lacking, so the production of T cells or the maturation of the T cells will not occur. This will lead to a depressed immune system. For example, Dye-George syndrome, which is a congenital disorder. Now let us move on to bone marrow. Bone marrow. All the cells of the immune system have their origin in the bone marrow, but the site of maturation is different. Those cells which mature, form as well as mature in the bone marrow are called B cells. B denotes bursa of Fabricius in the birds and bone marrow in case of mammals. Like thymic selection, here also the B cell selection process within bone marrow eliminates the B cells which are not functioning properly. Now let's move on to secondary lymphoid organs. Secondary lymphoid organs, we have discussed, there are 4 types. The first one, lymph nodes. Lymph nodes, what is the location of the lymph nodes? They are found at the junction of lymphatic vessels. First let us see the diagram. Here all these green structures are nothing but lymphatic vessels. See this lymphatic vessel. Wherever there is a junction of the lymphatic vessel, there you will find certain swollen bean-shaped structures called as lymph nodes. Now these are present throughout the body. There are more than 120 lymph nodes in the body, or we can say more than 100 lymph nodes present in the body. All these structures, swollen structures at the junction of the lymphatic vessels, are lymph nodes. So they are dispersed throughout the body. They contain stromal cells packed with lymphocytes, macrophages and dendritic cells, which are the cells of the immune system. Now these lymph nodes are specialized for encounters between lymphocytes and antigen. This antigen, how does it reach the particular lymph node? Through the lymphatic vessel, which is an alternate route for the blood. Now structure, these are, we already discussed, bean-shaped structures. They are also encapsulated. You can see they are covered by a membrane, so they are called encapsulated. Morphologically, these lymph nodes has regions like cortex, outer cortex, inner medulla, and in between them there is a region paracortex. Each layer supports a different microenvironment. Now this medulla is the innermost layer. It includes plasma cells. Plasma cells are those cells which will generate the antibodies. Now cortex, this is the cortex region, outer cortex. It consists of mostly B cells. Other than that, there are macrophages, follicular dendritic cells. They are arranged in the primary follicles. They are arranged inside the primary follicles. Now when the antigen reaches, okay, we'll discuss this a little later. Now let us also discuss about paracortex. This paracortex is populated largely by T lymphocytes. Any antigen entering the dendritic cell activates B cell and T helper cell, which is then sent to the cortex and medulla. So first the antigen enters the paracortex through this artery. It enters the paracortex region. From the paracortex region, further it is sent to the cortex and the